Ladies and gentlemen, in every human heart resides a quiet, persistent yearning, a longing that feels as ancient as the stars and as immediate as the breath we take. This yearning is not easily named. We might call it happiness, contentment, or fulfillment, but none of these quite capture the full essence of what we seek. Beneath these labels lies something more profound, the pursuit of joy. Joy is a peculiar thing. Unlike fleeting pleasures or momentary satisfactions, joy has a quality that both eludes and arrests us. It comes unbidden, often in the smallest of moments, a glimpse of beauty, a word of kindness, a fleeting sense of connection with something vast and eternal. And yet, as soon as we attempt to grasp it, it slips through our fingers, leaving behind only the memory of its touch and a deeper yearning for its return. It is this paradox of joy, the way it draws us yet eludes us, that I wish to explore with you today. For I believe that in understanding joy, we come closer to understanding the very purpose of our lives. The nature of joy. To begin, we must distinguish joy from its many imitators. The world is full of promises of happiness, each offering a new way to fill the void we feel within. These promises often take the form of material comforts, social achievements, or personal pleasures. And while none of these are inherently wrong, they are, at best, shadows of joy, temporary distractions, rather than the true fulfillment we seek. Joy is different. It is not something we can manufacture or control. It does not bend to our will or obey our schedules. Instead, joy is a gift, a glimpse of something greater than ourselves. It has a transcendent quality, as though it comes from beyond the world we know, offering a fleeting taste of a reality far richer and more enduring than anything we have yet experienced. Consider for a moment the times you have felt true joy. Perhaps it was in the beauty of a sunset, the laughter of a child, or the stillness of a quiet morning. In such moments, joy seems to arrive uninvited, yet it feels utterly right, as though it belongs to us in a way nothing else does. And when it fades, we are left with a sense of longing, not just for the joy itself, but for the source from which it came. The deeper longing. This longing is the key to understanding joy, for while joy is fleeting, the longing it awakens is enduring. It stirs within us a restless desire for something we cannot fully name, yet we instinctively know it to be real. This longing is often misunderstood. We may mistake it for a desire for material things, relationships, or achievements, and we pursue these in the hope that they will satisfy the ache within us. Yet, no matter how much we achieve or acquire, the ache remains. Why? Because the longing awakened by joy points not to the things of this world, but to something beyond it. In this sense, joy acts as a signpost, directing our attention away from the immediate and toward the eternal. It whispers to us of a reality greater than our own, a reality in which our deepest longings will finally be fulfilled. And it invites us to embark on a journey, a pursuit of joy that is, ultimately, a pursuit of the one who is its source. The missteps in our pursuit. If joy is indeed a signpost pointing us toward the eternal, why do so many of us struggle to find it? The answer lies in the ways we misunderstand and misdirect our pursuit. One common misstep is the belief that joy can be found in self-gratification. Our culture encourages us to seek happiness by fulfilling our desires, as though the key to joy lies in having more, doing more, or being more. Yet, this approach often leaves us feeling emptier than before, for joy is not something we can claim through sheer effort or consumption. Another misstep is the tendency to idolize the moments or experiences through which joy comes to us. When we encounter joy, we may try to recreate the circumstances that brought it, believing that we can summon it at will. But joy is not a product of circumstances, it is a gift. To cling to the vessel through which joy arrived is to miss the greater reality to which it points. A third misstep is the fear of longing itself. Some of us, weary of the ache that joy leaves behind, attempt to suppress our longing altogether. We distract ourselves with busyness or cynicism, convincing ourselves that the pursuit of joy is a futile endeavor. Yet in doing so, we deny the very essence of our humanity, for to long for joy is to long for the eternal. The path to true joy. If these are the missteps, what, then, is the true path to joy? First and foremost, the pursuit of joy requires humility. we must recognize that joy is not something we can create or control. It is a gift from the One who is the source of all joy. This humility invites us to approach life with open hands, ready to receive the moments of joy that come our way, however and whenever they may arrive. Second, the pursuit of joy requires attentiveness. In our fast-paced and distracted world, it is easy to miss the quiet moments in which joy reveals itself. By cultivating a habit of stillness and gratitude, we become more attuned to the beauty and wonder around us, and we open ourselves to the possibility of joy. Third, the pursuit of joy requires surrender. True joy is found not in seeking our own desires, but in aligning ourselves with the purpose for which we were created. This surrender is not a loss, but a gain, for in giving ourselves to the One who is the source of joy, we find the fulfillment of our deepest longing. Finally, the pursuit of joy requires hope. The moments of joy we experience in this life are but glimpses of a greater reality, a foretaste of the eternal joy that awaits us. By holding on to this hope, we are able to endure the hardships and disappointments of life, trusting that our longing will one day be fulfilled. Joy and suffering. Before we conclude, we must address an apparent paradox: the relationship between joy and suffering. At first glance, these two may seem opposed, as though the presence of one excludes the other. Yet, in the mystery of the human experience, joy and suffering are often intertwined. Suffering, though painful, has a way of stripping away our illusions and exposing the deepest desires of our hearts. It reminds us of the limitations of this world and awakens within us a longing for something more. And in this longing we often encounter joy not as a denial of suffering, but as a presence that transcends it. This joy is not a superficial cheerfulness or a denial of pain. It is a profound assurance that we are not alone and that our suffering is not meaningless. It is a joy rooted in the hope that the One who created us is also the One who redeems us, and that He is at work even in the midst of our trials. The fulfillment of joy. As we draw to a close, let us return to the longing that resides in each of us, the longing for joy. This longing, I believe, is nothing less than the echo of eternity within our hearts. It is a reminder that we were created not for this world alone, but for a reality far greater than we can imagine. In the end, the pursuit of joy is not a pursuit of a fleeting emotion or a temporary experience. It is the pursuit of the One who is the source of all joy, the One who calls us to Himself through the whispers of beauty, wonder and longing. And it is in Him that our deepest desires are fulfilled, our questions are answered, and our restless hearts find their rest. May we then embrace the pursuit of joy not as a futile chase, but as a journey toward the eternal. May we open our hearts to the longing within us, trusting that it leads us closer to the One who placed it there. And may we find in Him the joy that surpasses all understanding, the joy that is both our greatest longing and our greatest home.